Hey y'all, this is Kiley from Wild Lemon Fitness. Thanks so much for joining us in our online studio. Let's work out. Hey y'all, this is Kiley. Thanks so much for joining me today in our online studio here at Wild Lemon. Today our studio looks a little bit different because we are sitting at our desk. Today's movement session is all about taking a few minutes to stretch your body, maybe in the middle of your workday, definitely at the end of your workday. We spend so much time sitting right now. So we've all got really tight hip flexors. We're all a little kyphotic, a little rounded in the shoulders from just kind of hunching over that laptop or that cell phone. So I wanna change up your movement patterns today to be a little bit more mindful of how we're sitting, and then also integrating some movement and stretching into your workday. So let's start with how we sit. You'll notice right now I've got both feet flat on the floor. That is definitely my preference, to have both feet on your floor. I know oftentimes we sort of create movement patterns where maybe we're like tucking a leg underneath and sitting like this for 8 hours a day. That can really impinge your hip. It really can affect the circulation that goes to that hip and also create some tightness in opposite sides of the body. So I wanna try to avoid ever just like sitting in this sort of situation for hours on end. And just always trying to think about both feet on the floor. And if you're feeling like, man, my feet are numb, or I wanna move my feet, maybe think instead about rolling out your joints. So having your hands on your desk, just lift your toes and just roll out those ankles. And I'm gonna face you so you can see what I'm doing. Just kind of rolling out, bringing a little circulation and mobility to those feet, and then reversing those circles. This is a great way to kind of wake up that low body. But also if you're sitting for a really long time, take some breaks, make sure you're hydrating. That's a great way to keep yourself moving because you have to run and use the restroom every couple of hours if you're hydrating. So keep your water bottle or your glass of water on your desk. Make sure you're drinking it at least every hour or two, having to refill it. And that's gonna help a lot with any circulation stuff. So we've rolled out our ankles here. We've talked about how we wanna be lined up. I also wanna talk about pressing your feet into the floor and really activating, squeezing your glutes. So a lot of times, especially in that 6th, 7th hour of the day, as we start looking like a croissant kind of hunched over the desk, that's a great time to sort of stack your spine, slide your shoulders down and back, and press your feet into the floor. You're gonna feel when you press those feet into the floor that it's gonna wake up your glutes. You'll feel those glutes sort of firm up, and you can just alternate here, lifting and lowering opposite heels to bring some blood flow and circulation back into those legs. So we're just gonna do a couple of these. Make sure we're breathing. These you can do at the library, in your personal home office, at work, in your co-work space. Nobody's gonna know that you're moving your body. Wiggle out those hips, and I'm gonna face you. We're gonna do a little upper body opening. So again, when we're on our phones, when we're on our laptop, we have a tendency to round in our shoulders and put a lot of pressure on the back of the neck. So as we're leaning forward, it really strains the back of the neck. So at the end of the day, if you're feeling like your neck weighs 1,000 pounds, we need to be stretching out your shoulders and waking up that mid back. So we're gonna start by just sending those hands up to the ceiling, big inhale. And on the exhale, we're just gonna forward fold. Just allow the arms to dangle here. And then we're gonna stack the spine and place that right hand on my right thigh. I'm gonna reach my left hand up to the ceiling and collapse over, stretching out along the rib cage. Just a couple big deep breaths here. Your coworkers might think you look like a weirdo, stretching like this, but you're gonna feel 6 feet tall, so who cares? Send that hand down, wiggle out that shoulder, send the opposite hand up, and stretch. Nice. I'm gonna rotate back in toward my desk. I've got a nice little wobbly chair here today, which is a great way to add spinal rotation. So I'm gonna place one hand here and I'm gonna rotate into the chair, stretching out that low back and side body, and then go back through center, stretch out the other side. One more time in each direction. Excellent. Shake out those shoulders, slide them down and back. I'm going to send my right ear to my right shoulder and place my right hand just on the top of my head. I'm not really tugging at my neck here, just allowing the weight of that arm to put a little pressure on that neck. And we're going to extend the opposite arm out and give that hand a little flex. Feel that stretch all along those scalenes, along the side of the neck. Press those feet into the floor. We're nice and active. And then we're going to release that top hand and rotate that head, left ear to left shoulder, and switch out those hands. So my right arm is extended. I'm going to pull just gently on this neck and flex my right hand, stretching out the side of the neck. Nice. And then release that top hand. We're going to lift the chin and then lower the gaze. Lift and lower, and then just a little side to side, rock out that neck. Excellent. From here, I'm going to take my one ankle, I'm taking my left and placing it over my right knee for a little figure 4 stretch. Most important thing here is that both feet are flexed. So I'm really pressing that bottom foot into the floor, and I'm flexing this top foot. It's gonna wake up that piriformis right underneath your glute. I'm gonna place my hand on this thigh and press into this thigh, then hinge forward. Wow, that's an intense stretch. Take some big deep breaths here. Really leaning into this stretch. Should be feeling this under, around where your hip connects to your glute. And then we're gonna untwist, shake out those legs, and bring that opposite leg up. So this one immediately, you can tell on me, this is my side that I like to lean on. How this knee doesn't want to go down as far. That's because I'm a little tight in my psoas and in my hip flexor over here. That's why it's really important to stretch both sides of your body. Even Pilates instructors have imbalanced bodies, especially Pilates instructors. Place your hands on that thigh. You're gonna press that thigh away and then hinge over, flexing the feet, pressing that opposite foot into the floor, taking a couple big deep breaths. Relax your shoulders. Nice, and then we're gonna untwist that leg, shake out those feet. Let's close our computer, say we're done for the day. The last stretch that I want you to be doing, and this would be an excellent stretch to do every time you leave your desk, is because we really wanna stretch out your hip flexors and your low back. We're gonna move the chair out of the way, and I want you to just place your hands on your desk and soften your knees, and then we're gonna hinge back. So you're pressing your tailbone back. Yes, and allowing the head to hang heavy. You're gonna feel this release all the way up that posterior chain. Allowing the head to hang. Maybe alternating, pedaling out those feet. And then rounding the spine all the way up, and then sending the hips one more time back. Maybe walk those feet a little further back for a little deeper release of the shoulders. You can heel toe those feet a little wider and sweep one hand toward the opposite ankle. And then switch. Coming back through center, heel toe those feet. Bend the knees, you're gonna round all the way up to standing. Slide those shoulders down and back. I hope this series really helps you build some mobility and flexibility in that body for those long work days. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.